The middle class believes banks are the foundation of security. They're taught that if they save consistently, avoid mistakes, and trust the system, everything will work out. Warren Buffett learned very early that this belief is one of the most expensive lies society tells ordinary people. Not because banks are evil, but because banks are not designed to make you independent. They are designed to make you stable, predictable, and manageable. Buffett understands something most people never question. Banks are not built around your success. They are built around efficiency. Efficiency in collecting deposits, efficiency in lending, efficiency in controlling cash flow. And the more efficient the system becomes, the less freedom the average person has inside it. The middle class uses banks emotionally. They associate banks with safety, adulthood, and responsibility. The wealthy use banks logically. They see banks as leverage, infrastructure, and temporary storage. This difference alone creates two completely different financial destinies. Banks teach people to celebrate saving milestones. First 1,000, first 10,000, first 100,000. Buffett sees these milestones differently. He sees cash as frozen potential. Every dollar sitting still is a worker that has been fired, and over time, fired workers cost you your future. One of the biggest traps banks create is the illusion of progress without growth. Your balance increases, your confidence increases, but your purchasing power does not. Inflation slowly steals from savers while rewarding owners. Banks never explain this clearly because the system depends on people not understanding it. Buffett understands that inflation is not a temporary problem. It is a permanent feature of modern economies. Governments print money. Banks distribute it. Savers absorb the loss. Asset owners adjust prices and survive. This cycle repeats endlessly. The middle class thinks risk means losing money quickly. Buffett knows the most dangerous losses happen slowly, quietly, invisibly. Cash doesn't crash, it decays. And decay is far more dangerous because it doesn't trigger fear until it's too late. Banks are experts at behavior control. Automatic payments, minimum balances, credit score pressure. All of it trains people to obey financial rules they never agreed to consciously. Buffett rejected behavioral programming. He built his strategy around independence of thought. Another trend Buffett understood before most people is that banks profit from confusion. Complex products, hidden fees, variable rates. The harder money is to understand, the easier it is to control. Buffett believes clarity is the ultimate advantage. The middle class is encouraged to borrow for comfort. Bigger homes, newer cars, lifestyle upgrades. Banks make money on every step. Buffett borrows strategically or not at all. He understands that interest is a tax on impatience. Banks normalize long-term debt, 30-year mortgages, endless credit card balances. People accept decades of obligation as normal. Buffett views long-term obligation as risk. He prefers long-term ownership. Another critical insight is time. Banks measure time in billing cycles. Buffett measures time in generations. What looks stable over a year looks disastrous over 40 years. Cash savings look responsible short-term and irresponsible long-term. Banks also convince people that financial success is linear. Work more, save more, borrow responsibly. Buffett knows wealth is exponential. Compounding is non-linear, and cash does not compound. The middle class reacts to financial news emotionally. Rate hikes cause fear. Market crashes cause panic. Buffett reacts rationally. He understands cycles are inevitable. Panic is optional. Banks benefit from fear-driven decisions. People move to cash during uncertainty. Buffett moves toward ownership. When assets are cheap, he buys. When others freeze, he acts. Another trend emerging today is distrust in institutions, but Buffett does not replace blind trust with blind rebellion. He replaces it with understanding. He studies incentives. He follows money flow.
He positions himself accordingly. Banks are safest for people who already own assets. They are most dangerous for people who only store cash. This is the uncomfortable truth most financial education avoids. The middle class stores value. The wealthy create value. Banks support creators, not storers. Banks also influence identity. People call themselves customers, borrowers, account holders. Buffett calls himself an owner. Owners think differently. Owners focus on cash flow, durability, and long-term advantage. Another powerful insight Buffett teaches is that wealth is not income. Many people earn high salaries and remain poor in mindset. Banks happily finance this illusion. Buffett builds wealth quietly, slowly, and permanently. Banks teach people to seek permission, loan approvals, credit limits, payment schedules. Buffett seeks autonomy. He designs his financial life to minimize external approval. The middle class waits for certainty. Buffett acts with probability. He doesn't need guarantees. He needs favorable odds. Banks are reactive institutions. They respond to policy. Buffett anticipates policy effects. Inflation rises. He owns businesses that raise prices. Rates change. He adapts capital allocation. Another trend Buffett highlights is that systems reward understanding, not effort. Many hard-working people struggle financially because effort without leverage has limits. Banks provide leverage to institutions, not individuals. The middle class saves hoping for freedom. The wealthy invest expecting responsibility. Freedom comes as a byproduct. Banks are not villains. They are mirrors. They reflect how well you understand money. To the uneducated, they feel safe. To the educated, they feel limited. Buffett never escaped the system. He mastered it. He learned where banks are useful and where they are dangerous. He used them for transactions, not transformation. If your entire financial future depends on a bank balance, your future is fragile. If it depends on productive assets, your future adapts. The real lesson Buffett teaches is not to avoid banks, but to stop worshiping them. Respect the system, learn it, use it, but never trust it with your independence. Because the biggest financial mistake is not losing money, it is giving control of your future to a system that profits from your dependence. And once you understand this, banks stop feeling like safety nets and start looking like what they really are. Tools, powerful tools, but only in the hands of those who understand how they work.